Hey everybody, it's Murray here from the War Room in scenic New Hampshire, and it's 15 degrees out now. This is a nice day in January in New Hampshire, so I just wanted to shoot a quick video because I got all inspired. I got so fired up I couldn't sit down. I was in the middle of doing something here, this bird bath, and I had to stop what I was doing and get this on camera before I lost it. What I wanted to share with you is 2 quick tips of how you can harness your mental energy, your mental capacity for the purpose of achieving your goals, achieving your dreams, achieving your ultimate purpose. You see, what's amazing is everybody has pretty much the same brain, but the average person only uses like less than 5% of their brain. My wife would say I use even less than that. A few people like Einstein, Mozart, Beethoven, these kind of guys, you know, you're able to trap a little bit more of their brain, but the mind is so powerful that it's beyond most humans' comprehension. If you were plugging into this video, if you are connecting with me to try to learn some internet marketing tips or to learn some general business skills or techniques to improve your income, you know, I'm going to give you that. But what I've learned from all the people who are doing well, all the people who are making money, all the people who are successful, is that that's all clutter, that's all, you know, silver, shiny distractions. Really, what you really need to focus is on the mental game. You really need to focus on what your purpose is. You need to get all your mind, your energy, your subconscious channeled to the direction you want to go, and you have to decide where that is. And all these cool marketing tips and strategies and all that, you know, yeah, they're great, and there's a lot of good advice out there. There's a lot of crappy advice, but if you focus on the tactics and the strategies and the gimmicks and the programs and spend all your money on all that stuff like I have, you're not going to go anywhere until you focus on where you want to go. If I'm driving from here to Chicago, which I'm going to be doing in 3 months, if I'm driving from here to Chicago and I just jump in my car and start driving, it could take me a long time to get there. But if I had a map of how to get there, I'd get there a lot more quickly. So what I'm going to show you is something that all the I'm going to show you how the top income earners all have their success by reprogramming their minds. I'm going to show you these 2 tips that when you are able to do these 2 things, it's going to change your life like you can't imagine. The subconscious is so powerful. Let me give you 2 quick examples though before I do that. The subconscious is so powerful. Before I forget, this is one of these bird baths that you can, in the winter it doesn't freeze, it plugs in, and in the winter birds are looking for water more than they are in the summer because everything is frozen, at least up here it is. So it's cool to have this unfreezing bird bath, and we get a lot of customers here. So here's an example of magnetic sponsoring. The benefit of this is satisfying the thirst and the bird bath and the water requirements of birds. The features are it doesn't freeze. So this is bird marketing 101. Anyway, very cool. It plugs in. If you live around here in the winter, you can't just have a regular bird bath because it'll freeze over, and if you have a ceramic one, it'll crack. But I digress. So I was reading about Mozart, and you know, when I was a high school kid, you know, I was into the Stones and Zeppelin. I really wasn't a big Mozart guy. I kind of appreciated it, but as I've gotten older, this guy was amazing. I can listen to Mozart all day, and it really has an amazing ability to relax my mind and get me focused. And, you know, I'm not a music scholar, and you're going to be able to tell that very quickly as I describe this. Anybody who's a music teacher is going to be horrified by what I'm going to say. Anybody who sings, I can't sing worth crap. I'm just a guy who likes music. I'm just a guy who likes music. I like to listen to a lot of music, and I really appreciate Mozart. Not only, I mean, this guy could cram a lot of notes in at once, you know. He was a tremendous, tremendous writer, a tremendous musician. And if you ever listen to his, do me a favor and go out right now and go on YouTube and listen to Mozart. It's probably his most famous one, which he didn't like, is called uh, Little Night Music, I believe it's called, something like that. Jesus, it escapes me. There's also a Symphony Number 41, which is one of my favorite. But just listen to it, and listen to how ornate it is, and how it flows, and how all the other instruments chime in and out, and how there's a melody. Mozart had a melody. Like a lot of these classical guys, from an unprofessional ear like mine, kind of deviate and go off on wild tangents. But Mozart had a great melody. He was a great melody guy. And the point of the story is that Mozart used his subconscious mind when he wrote these intricate songs. A Little Night Music, that's the song. When he wrote these interesting, these very ornate, complex songs, he would write them down, you know, by hand. They didn't have typewriters or anything like that, obviously. Complete in the first draft with no mistakes. Page upon page upon page of these entire symphonies, these entire pieces of music he would write without making a mistake. I mean, I can't even say 2 sentences without making a mistake. This guy really harnessed his subconscious mind somehow, and we don't even know if he knew what he was doing. But this is the power of the subconscious mind. Listen to this. Listen to his music sometime, and man, how did he do it? On the other end of the spectrum, we have a guy like Keith Richards. You know, my man Keith. It's said that when there's a nuclear war, the only things that are going to survive a nuclear war are cockroaches and Keith Richards, because nothing's killed him yet. I mean, he looks like 50 miles of bad road, right? Have you ever seen him? God. I saw him close up in a IMAX theater movie that they did on the Stones by Martin Scorsese called Shine a Light. And, you know, I had the misfortune of watching these close-ups of his face. This was filmed like 2009, 2008, something like that. It looks like the friggin' Grand Canyon. The guy has so many wrinkles, and you know, his hands are all arthritic, but he's out there rocking. Point of this story is the song that is widely recognized as the greatest rock song of all time, and I think it is. You know, I'm a little bit biased. I've seen the Stones a few times, but Satisfaction from 1965 is generally regarded as one of the greatest Stones songs of all time. Everybody knows the guitar riff from Satisfaction. Anyway, I can't sing, or I can't hold a tune, but you know what I'm saying. Keith Richards said that riff came to him in his subconscious while he was dreaming. He was completely asleep. He woke up in the middle of the night, grabbed his guitar for reasons that he couldn't imagine, played that riff into a recorder, and then went back to sleep. And the next morning, he had no idea, he didn't remember it at all. The next morning he played it back, and that became the riff for Satisfaction. So he generated that with his subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is thousands of times more powerful than your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is what you and I are aware of, the decisions we make on a day-to-day basis. The subconscious mind is running in the background programming that you're not even aware of. It's helping you make decisions that you don't even know. And it can be good decisions or bad decisions. And it's like a supercomputer. It's like a supercomputer that's working on your behalf. The key is you've got to program the computer to be constructive, to work on your behalf. Because if you have bad programming, if you listen to talk radio, if you watch reality TV shows and see all these friggin' idiots, and get your mind, well, if you watch the news, if you believe all this crap, then all this programming, this is all going to affect your programming, and you're going to make bad decisions. So you've got to harness all your input, and you can train your subconscious mind and reprogram it so it can give you good decisions. Because the weight of the power of your subconscious mind, as evidenced by Mozart, Keith Richards, and a million successful people throughout the history of time, is that you can harness your subconscious mind to do good things for you. It's beyond belief. Now, I heard a lot about this, and I thought it was all mumbo jumbo, you know. And I read about it, yeah, and then I'd read about it, yeah, and then I'd read about it, yeah, and it never really, you know, I kind of discarded it. as a bunch of wishy-washy crap of guys trying to sell something. But recently I discovered it friggin' works. And I know it works because I've seen people like Lawrence Tam make $1 million in a year part-time. I've seen people like Toby and Layla Black, who were homeless, living in a basement, unemployed, and a couple of years later, now they're making $300-400 grand a year, and they only work 6 months of that year. I mean, success story, success story, success story. Anthony Robbins is the prime example. But everybody, if you talk to people who are successful, Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, any entrepreneurs at basically any level, Richard Branson, Tim Ferriss, all these guys, they have to harness their mental game. They have to harness their subconscious mind. They have to have a purpose. And when you channel all that together in one direction to where you want to go, and you have to decide where that is. I'm not going to decide. You have to decide. I'm no better than you. These guys are no better than you. They've just focused their subconscious mind and directed all this powerful energy. Imagine having like the Hoover Dam and a nuclear bomb target, charging your brain and just friggin' blasting off. I mean, that's what can happen if you know how to manage your superconscious mind. So I want to show you a couple tricks, and I think this video is too long. I'm going to just check out the next video. I'm going to go into two quick tips on how you can help channel your subconscious mind to achieve extraordinary things. So stay with me.